All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. My name is Matt Mullen, and you are at the Email Kickstart Mastermind. How to make money with email. Thanks to our friends at Raptive for making this possible. I have been working with Raptive for several years, and I love them. They've been a great partnership, and I know that they care about their creators, and this is one of the ways that they demonstrate it. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to be recording these sessions so that you can watch them on, when you can't sleep at night and you need a cure for insomnia, you can watch these. Or if you have to miss a session somewhere along the line, that's totally fine too. This is me. I live in Arizona. This is my family. Only one of these people lives in Arizona with me now. All three of these kids are married. It's hard to believe. So I need to update my photo here a little bit. But the one on the far right in the picture, he lives in Utah with his wife and my granddaughter, which, by the way, I feel bad for the rest of you who wanted to have the cutest granddaughter in the world. Unfortunately, that has been locked up. We've taken it. You can strive for second, but we've got it, number one. And then, of course, the one just right next to me, she is the one that lives in Illinois with her husband and is going to school there. And then my daughter on the furthest left, she lives here in Arizona, and it's awesome to have her and her husband here. And so that's my family. I've been working with small businesses my entire career, and email has always been a big part of that. In fact, the last gig that I did before switching to this full time, I was the chief marketing officer for a daily deal website. Back in the day when Groupon clones were all the rage, we had a Groupon clone, and we had no budget to speak of. So I learned over that decade of working with them, I learned how to do email marketing and how to do affiliate marketing. Both of those things are going to come into play in some of my discussions over the next 5 days. But we did, at the lowest point, we did $10 million in email sales. So we did every year we did more than that. And that was based off of understanding our audience and selling to them. We had, my wife and I launched in 2016 a fun blogging project. We decided to become Disney bloggers. And so we had a Disney cruise specific related website. And we launched it in 2016. And after 2 years, using the exact tactic that I'm going to share with you today, we grew our list to 40,000 subscribers from the date of domain registration to 2 years later. So for some of you, that's chump change. For us, that was a big deal. And it allowed me to get in on the understand what blogging was all about. And since that time, I've had the privilege of working with some of the world's greatest content creators, best bloggers, YouTubers, podcasters, you name it. I've been working with them in helping them to grow their lists, know what to send that will get opened and clicked, and how to use email marketing automation to do that. So that's why that's me. And I'm going to be sharing with you over the next, over the next 5 days, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact things I teach them. All right. And no difference. You're going to get all of that. To start with, our friends at Raptive, they're not just giving you a free mastermind. Oh, no. They're going to give you access to my course for free. It's called Email and Autopilot. I legit charge $500 for this course, and Raptive is paying for it for you. So if you want it, go get it. Now, why would you do this? I'm putting the link in the chat. So somebody go do it. Make sure I set up the code right. That'd be great. I've messed that up a time or two. But why would you do this? Well, I'm not going to be able to cover everything and every piece of my email marketing strategies in this next 5 days. So this is a nice helper for you if you want to have that. It's half strategy and half how to do it, how to set it up in ConvertKit. It's still valuable if you don't use ConvertKit. It's just half of it is the technical side of setting things up. If you haven't done so, I think most everybody has, but just as a reminder, if you haven't done so, please join our Facebook group because I'm going to be sharing some homework assignments in there, some inspiration. I'm going to be sharing some examples, and I hope you all will help and support each other. Historically, these groups have been a great way for people to help each other with their emails. Okay. All right. Let's get into this. I recently got to speak at a conference called Tastemaker. Tastemaker is for the food side of blogging. And I had the opportunity to share with them specifics on why I think you need to build your list now. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that in this session. I believe that you already have a sense of that. But the name of this session is how to make money with email. Guess what? You can't make money with email if you don't have a list of subscribers. So today we're going to talk about building that list. There's a lot of good reasons to do this, many of which you have seen and heard before, but I'm going to do a very quick rundown, a reminder of how I see this. This is something, as far as your email list, this is as close to owning something in this digital space as you can get. These subscribers have given you permission to send them messages, to send them communications, and encourage them to come back time and time again to your content. That's about as, when in a world of Google changes, Pinterest has been a roller coaster for many of you. Facebook groups used to be a thing, may not be a thing, may be a thing, who knows. And then AI, all this stuff, right? Having a list is really important. Second, how do you stand out? What sets you apart from anybody else who happens to rank in Google? Are you different? Is there something special about you? Or is next time they have a question, are they simply going to Google it or go to ChatGPT or whatever? How do we build a brand? I'm going to talk about using email to do that. That is definitely a money maker. It's hard to attach a direct ROI to that, but many of my clients are missing that in the beginning. And when that light bulb goes off, they can start to create deeper connections, longer lasting connections. Yes, through email. Number three, let's say everything changes. By golly, things are changing. Well, if you have a big list, you can actually send them. You can say, okay, hey everybody, I'm on another platform. You can see my content on Instagram. You can see my content on TikTok, on Whizbang Doodle, whatever the new thing will be. All right. That is a really important aspect of this, that having that audience and control of messaging to that audience allows you to drive traffic where you want to go. We're going to talk about this, number 4, at a later point in our sessions. Having a email address allows you to have higher RPMs. Yes, this is true. Raptive has been setting up some technology on the back end that makes this possible. And I have some stats for you that I'm going to be sharing. You can make, as of right now, it's looking like around 30% more when you build up a list, get them identified through Raptive's techniques, and I'm going to show you all those. Lastly, there is an entire new set of ways to make money, where literally money is in the email. Sponsorships, ads, affiliate programs. Yeah, those have all been there, but now they're even easier to tap into than ever before. So there's a revenue stream that you can attach. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that we're going to get into over the next 5 days. I'm just looking at the comments. Did the coupon code work? Anybody test it out? Thumbs up, anybody? Okay, Christy, thank you. 100 points to Christy. The points are worth nothing, but she's winning. All right, so it's about technical stuff. There's a lot of technical stuff related to email. Everybody uses different platforms. The good news is that these techniques I'm going to share with you over the next 5 days work with most email software platforms, the ones that you all have told me that you're using. And I have a personal affinity to ConvertKit. I won't deny that. Some of you are on ConvertKit, some of you have considered ConvertKit, some of you think it's too expensive. Wherever you are in that process, that is, I'm going to get into, I can get into platform specific stuff down the road, but I'm putting my affiliate link in here simply because, yes, I'm a shill. But besides that, the reason I'm a shill is because I've gotten this platform to work for me with my strategies. We get so hung up on the tech side of things that it slows us down. If that's you, then the combination of ConvertKit plus my course, Email on Autopilot, will tell you not just what to do, but okay, step by step, here's exactly how to achieve it. That's why I have picked a platform. There are plenty of good platforms out there, folks. It's just, this is the one that I have I've become really, really familiar with and know how to work, the ins and outs really, really well. I've used almost all of them. They all have their ups and downs. Sandy, about Flowdesk in particular, they are obviously, the price is right, correct? You'll also find that you kind of get what you pay for with that, as is in most things in life. And we'll dive into some of those things. You'll see some of the techniques that I'm going to share with you require certain automations and things that you may or may not be able to do on your particular platform. So we'll get into that. All right, here we go. Let's get serious. 13 minutes in. Let's finally get to some content. All right. So today I'm going to share with you what is not actually a secret. It's my not so secret for growing your list. For those of you who have heard me give this spiel before, I want you to listen listen to this again and think about it in terms of your business, because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty for you on this call. So I want you to meet my friend Martha. I'm over at Martha's house and we're having a lovely conversation. She is sharing some killer knock-knock jokes with me. You wouldn't believe the repertoire she has. And then she looks like a serious woman, but no, don't let her appearance fool you. So she's talking to me and she's got her glass of milk and she's got her nondescript laptop. And mid-sentence, she just stops for a second and she says, "Hold up, Matt. I have got a big-time craving." I'm like, "Oh, really? What's that? What do you have a craving for?" Well, you can probably guess, right? I mean, you're looking at the picture, you see the glass of milk. What was it? Play along. That's right. I saw Christy mouth it. She said, "Trinidad macaroni pie sounds yummy to me." And I was like, "Me too, Trinidad macaroni pie. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds incredible." So when she asked me, "How do I make it?" we didn't know. So what did she do? Well, of course, she had her laptop right there. She just typed in Trinidad macaroni pie and presto, look at this. There's these great results. Cooking with Ria, whoever Ria is. She sounds lovely. And you bring this up here and it must be important and good because by golly, it's the first 2 results. So we can trust that, can't we? And so we did. Martha and I, we pulled up the Trinidad macaroni pie. Doesn't that look yummy? It was. You wouldn't even believe it. And how simple it was to make. There was this recipe sitting right there. So as we're finishing up and we're deciding what to do next with our lives, what does Martha do? Does Martha bookmark this? Does anybody bookmark anything anymore? Does she tell all her friends about the Trinidad macaroni pie? Does she jump onto an email newsletter list? No. What does she do? Martha bounces. Now, I have not hacked into Cooking with Ria to see if these numbers are true, but my guess is that they're probably like most of ours, 80 to 90% bounce rates, right? Why? She's wiping off the crumbs off her face. She had an incredible culinary experience, but yet she moves on with her life. Why? Because in that moment, Martha is in transaction mode. The transaction is, hey, I'm hungry. I want some Trinidad macaroni pie. She asks Google or ChatGPT or into Pinterest, and presto, she gets an answer. And because the result was good, what does she know she's going to do next time she gets hungry? She's just going to repeat that process. She's just going to Google whatever. It may not be Trinidad macaroni pie. It might be Jamaican macaroni pie. I don't know, right? So what do? Well, here we're going back to the secret. The not so secret is that your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. Friends, you are going to get tired of me saying this. I am teaching you right now the fundamental secret to my business. This is it. This right here. You could go start a business and compete with me with this one truth. Why? Well, let's start with why these things don't work. Does Martha want to sign up for a newsletter in that moment? Does she need a download? I can't even read whatever this is. I don't know. Does she want useful tips, stories, and giveaways in her inbox? She doesn't want any of that. She just wants a recipe. So what do we do in that moment? Well, the way that we get more subscribers is we need what's called an email hook. In that moment, we're going to hook Martha based off stuff that she's interested in. Now, some of you, many of you, maybe even most of you already have an email hook of some sort. So this is the audience participation part of our program. Down in the chat, let me know what kind of email hook do you currently have. While you're listing that, I'm going to share with you what I think makes a good email hook. First of all, something that is a good hook will grab the target reader. All right. We're not talking about Visa gift card giveaways that appeal to everybody. We're talking about your target reader. Second, and probably most important, it should solve a problem for our audience. Third, ideally, it arrives instantly because Martha, she's going to forget about us. She's off and on her way very soon. And then fourth, it should showcase you as a subject matter expert in the process, meaning you have answers to her life problems. Okay, let's see what everybody has. Okay, free ebooks, menu planner, ebooks. All right, save this recipe. That's a very popular one. We're going to talk about more about that. 10 easy weeknight dinners, ebooks. Okay, and then we've got Anisha's got her Indian curry recipe ebooks. All right, and a get started email sequence with the save this recipe, Emily. All right, fantastic. All right, look, for my ebook friends, the problem we have with ebooks and with many other email hooks is that they often take time or skill or money to create. You had to pay somebody probably to design that ebook and make it look nice. Oh, or you wrestled with Canva for long enough. And then they often just don't actually turn them into super vans like we're hoping for. Anybody who's done printables or downloadables knows this, that how much of for my crafting friends out there that give away a free craft or printable, the grab and go is real, isn't it? Never to be seen again. The problem with an ebook is I download that to my device. It's actually not very useful to use going forward, and I don't actually ever look at it again. It falls somewhere on into my files, never to be seen again. Right? So here's my better idea today. I want you to use your existing content and create something that I call a quick start guide. Now, a quick start guide it's just a sequence. It's a short series of emails that allows us to send our new readers to the stuff that will help them the most. In my example here with my wife and I, when we actually ranked for Disney Cruise Secrets, this blog has long been ignored, unfortunately, but we get the idea. When they Googled Disney Cruise Secrets, they landed and they would get an opt-in for my quick start guide called What to Expect on Your First Disney Cruise. Now, this thing converts like crazy. Why? What do I know about somebody who's Googling Disney Cruise tips? In that moment, what is that person's motivation? Well, they're likely going on a Disney cruise, or they're strongly considering it, and it's probably their first one. Otherwise, why do they need tips? So what to expect on your first Disney cruise hits them right where they are. Notice how this is different from get updates about Disney cruise. Learn about Disney cruising. Don't miss my weekly Disney cruise newsletter. No, this promises an immediate solution to one of their problems. I hope that difference is clear because that is where the magic is. On top of that, here's the great thing. We get to use existing content. In fact, spoiler alert, at the end of this, your homework assignment will be to create a new quick start guide. And I'm going to ask you, it's the rules of this game that we're playing today, that do not create anything new. Only use existing content. What we're going to do is simply create a theme for this guide. Notice these quotes around guide. This is very loose. They're going to get one email per day for 3 to 5 days in a row. Each one of these emails is going to be kind of a lesson, or it's going to talk about a theme within our topic, and it's going to bring them back to your website or your channel of choice. It doesn't have to be a website. The idea is that we're just taking your content and putting it in an order that makes the most sense for your new reader to solve that problem that they have. And the reason that this works is that people, when they're learning something new, they just want to get going, man. They do not need, if I'm going to Paris, I do not need the full Rick Steves tour at that time. I need to know where to stay. I need to know what attractions to hit and what to eat. That's about what I need first. When I get over there, I can dive deeper. When we simplify the topic for our audience and put it right there in front of them, oh man, we're actually doing them a huge, huge favor. And as I mentioned, we get to use our existing content. But Matt, all this content that I'm going to be sending them in the email is already on my website. Can't they just find it there? Well, sure, they can. But nobody does that. You don't search the web that way. I don't. Nobody does that. So the beauty of this is that we're going to save our readers time by making it easy for them to find and consume your best stuff. In the process, you're becoming a smarty pants. They're like, okay, this Christy person knows her stuff on this. And in the process, you're bringing them back to your blog or your channel over and over and over again. And because it's awesome stuff that you're sending, you're training them that the next emails will also be awesome and helpful. Do you see how this is different than in perhaps what we've done in the past? The promise of sign up for my newsletter or even an ebook. All right, let's get into it. Solve your reader's problem by helping her make sense of something new, blah, 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 1 email per day for 3 to 5 days in a row. You get the concept, I hope. Any questions on it, though? Because I want to make sure that we understand that. If you have any questions or you're stuck, let me know. Usually the next question is, all right, what should this quick start guide be about? This might be where some of you are. And that's where we come back to that not so secret secret. Your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. That is, what problem can I solve for Martha right now? Let's talk about Martha for a second, because we used food. Ria is with us. I know we've got a few other, Anisha, Lavina, I think Christy. I think we got a few food folks in here, right? So we'll just build on the food thing for a second. Your audience today on tax day, April 15th, is coming for something different than they came for 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they were interested in Easter recipes. The month before that, they were doing something for the Super Bowl. The month before that, they're trying to eat healthy. The month before that, they were not eating healthy and they were gluttonous holiday recipes. And the month before that was Thanksgiving. You see where I'm going here? Martha, her needs change. What problem you can solve today is different. And it also varies depending on the post, the page, the category. Disney Cruise tips versus Disney coloring pages. How well would my Disney Cruise opt-in work for my Disney coloring pages people? Now, for those of you who have multiple topics like that, cover multiple things like that, you're probably going, wait a second, which do I start with? I'm coming back to this. Where do you get the most traffic? Let's start with this, and then go through these questions. What's your biggest channel and your highest traffic posts, pages, or categories? And then why did they come there? Notice that this is in bold. Think motivation. Why are they there? When they Google Disney Cruise tips, what's the motivation? When they Google Trinidad macaroni pie, what is the motivation? Why are they Googling that? Or going to Pinterest for that? What's at the core of their problem? And then what can you offer that will solve that problem? In my case, with the Disney Cruise, what to expect on your first Disney Cruise solves that's at the core of a newbie Disney cruiser issue, right? That goes to the heart of it. So what might one of these look like? I'm going to give you some real life examples. So baking a moment, Allie has all sorts of great baked goods, but she specializes in cookies. So she did 5 secrets for baking impossibly soft cookies. Jansen, she's a former librarian, has a master's in librarian sciences. She loves helping parents instill an affinity for reading in their kids. So she created this course called Raising Readers. Jessica has an interesting challenge. Her website is all over the place with DIY projects. Imagine somebody Googling, refurnishing a table, refinishing a table versus, fixing a leaky toilet versus design trends for my patio. In her case, what she did is 5 secrets to transform your home on any budget, because she has these quick projects that everybody could enjoy. And she knows that her weekend warriors are a certain type, where they're working on a house, they have a certain budget. So that works pretty well. This worked great during the pandemic for favorite family recipes when we couldn't leave the house, killer copycat recipes. This one has been, it's been over a year, but it was a year ago, January. Remember here for those in the United States, there was this big egg shortage, and all of a sudden there was this rush on people. It was kind of funny. People wanted to start raising their own chickens. Maybe some of you did that. Well, the Happy Chicken Coop saw a massive surge in their stuff, and so they created Raising Healthy Chickens. Copycat recipes again. Ultimate Spring Recipe Guide, seasonal. 5 secrets to great Mexican food at home. You see where this is going, right? 5 days of slow cooker classics. If you have a slow cooker device, you have very specific needs related to that. Not just any recipe will work. This one I want to talk about a little bit further. This is Ralphie from Simply on Purpose. She's Instagram. At the time, she didn't have any website at all. And she had when I was working with her, she had no email list. So she's a parenting expert and talks about, she just has fresh approaches to parenting. And so she was doing this no yell week where, okay, all week long, we're not going to yell at our kids and we're going to do my techniques instead. So she created a 4 email series called Staying Safe. Why we yell, why it doesn't work, and what to do instead. So she promoted it on her Instagram posts, stories. This is back in the day of swipe up to sign up kind of thing. And she promoted this landing page. And this landing page took us approximately 180 seconds to make. Okay, you can see that it's not super designed. It's just, we just whipped something out. Here were her results. She went from 0 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. Now, let's acknowledge, Ralphie didn't have a list before that. So there was some low-hanging fruit. She could have said anything, and she would have got some of her audience subscribers. But she saw all week long, because she was promoting No Yell Week, she would basically say, hey, it's no Yell Week. We're all participating. If you want some easy tips, it all starts with my Staying Safe guide. Everybody go get it. Here's the link to sign up. Presto. These were the results. If you know anything about email marketing metrics, you can see these are very strong engagements. Let's look at one of these emails. Why yelling doesn't work? Well, let's be clear. It does in the short term, blah, blah, blah. 3 long-term effects of yelling. Yada, yada, yada. For video on the negative effects of yelling, click the picture. Now, she did not spend a lot of time choosing that picture. There was no photo shoot. Guess where this link takes you? It takes you back to a highlighted story on Instagram. One of those little bubble thingies. So here's what happened. They were on Instagram. They're asked to sign up for her email, and then the email brings them right back to Instagram to a video that has been there the whole time. It was always there. But they love it. See this? They love it. Because they weren't bothering to go look at that, to go find it. Here's an example of one of the emails from one of my my food blogging clients. Sugar-free Londoner. Welcome to day 1 of 30-minute keto meals. Did someone say keto and quick? Look at these keto wonders. They're my lifesavers. Blah, blah, blah. My fastest and best keto recipes. And then over here, you can see that they're just roundups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Not complicated. Is the light bulb going on for anybody? Is it clicking, I hope? Somebody? Okay. I'm going to ask you in just a second. I'm going to ask you if A, you have an idea for your quick start guide, and I'd love for you to share it with me. And B, if you're stuck, because today I'm helping people get unstuck. I'm giving away absolutely free quick start guide ideas for you. Let's walk through this email though for just a second. I want to dissect it. So a couple things that this is not. Now, you have to remember this is Matt Molinism. All right, this is not your voice. I understand that. You need to turn this into your thing, your voice. But I will tell you one thing that I have learned. It's a hill that I will die on, and that is people don't read emails. They skim. So let's look at this email again with that in mind. Remember, Martha doesn't know, in this case, Catherine, doesn't know her, but was interested in probably a pop-up or a form that said, you know, get my 5 days of 30-minute meals or something like that. So what does she get? We know that the whole point that Sugar Free Londoner has is to deliver keto-friendly recipes. So we get to the point. Very seldom do I have emails that have paragraphs that are longer than 1 or 2 sentences. Okay? Did someone say keto and quick? That goes right to the heart of whatever this problem is. 30-minute meals. That's why I signed up. Welcome to day 1. I like this as well. I like giving it a name, and I like, because it reminds them of what they signed up for. And then I like, you know, saying it's day 1 or day 3 or whatever, because then they know where they are in this process, and it also implies that it will end at some point. And then I like to just get to the content. I love a subheader, by the way. So imagine you're skimming this. What are you going to see? You're going to go, welcome to day 1 of this. Oh, yeah, I signed up for that. You're probably going to skip over this. I see keto. Yeah, I'm keto. Quick. Yeah, got it. I'm not even really reading. And then boom, my fastest and best. Yep. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. And then I'm skipping this, and then I'm down into the recipes, right? This works time and time again. Now, how do we build your brand into this? How do you bring that in? Well, you can do that in the footer. You can do that in follow-on emails after the fact. But my point right here is let's get them answers quick. Remember, they're a Google transaction. They don't care about you yet. They will start to care about you as they get answers, as they get the cookie dough and the walnut cookies and the chocolate yogurt. Then they're like, aha, wow, this sugar-free Londoner, she's got a lot for me and my lifestyle. Remember, we don't care about the names of Taylor Swift's cats until we've heard Blank Space on the radio a few times. All right? Let's dazzle them with our content by being smart and solving their problems. What are these? Oh, okay. So this is just self-aggrandizing reviews. But the point is that I wanted to share with you is people that are actually getting real results when they implement this. I need to take these slides out. These are not helpful. All right, let's just get right to it. If you are frozen, I'm here to help you get unstuck. All right, we are going to do a brainstorm right now. Oh, sorry, I'm ignoring the questions over here. So we're not asking for an unsubscribe by sending an email every day. Anisha, I'm not sure. We're not sure I understand what you're... Basically, what we're doing is we're just trying to get new subscribers with this. This is not about, just to be clear, this has nothing to do with what you send on an everyday basis or, you know, every week after this. We'll talk about that we'll start talking about it tomorrow a little bit about what to send them after they're on the list. But this is all about getting somebody who is not on the list onto the list. How much you send them after that is totally up to you. By the way, I will tell you right now, you can send way more emails than you think. Nobody ever believes me on that. I've been doing this for years. I have clients that send daily. Depends on your niche, but legit send daily. But at bare minimum, I'm going to ask you this. I'm spoiling what's coming up, but I'm going to ask you to send at least 2 emails a week. All right, and I'll tell you what emails I think you should be sending in my cookie cutter system. I'm hyper local. All right, Bridget, let's do this. Let's unmute. I'm guessing you have something to do with Cincinnati. Is that right? Are you able to unmute? I'm going to answer Christie's while you're figuring that out, or seeing if you can. If you are food, would you add 1 recipe per email, 5 recipes total over the course of 5 days, and then link them to your main archives for that topic at the end? Typically, so for me, Christy, I used to do one like this. Okay, so it'd be like how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Now, in the case of chocolate chip cookie, everybody loves chocolate chip cookies. So that's not a bad one to just do that, because you know that they're going to click on that. However, we all have different taste buds, especially with food. So what I suggest you do is solve 1 problem per email. Now, that may be a roundup of ideas that solve that problem. In this case, it might be the problem is how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie, because that's ubiquitous. Everybody loves a chocolate chip cookie. But in the case of, let's go back to my other example. This was, this might be day 1, my fastest keto recipes. Well, she's like, here are my fastest keto recipes. And so I don't know that they are going to love the cookie dough. Maybe they want the yogurt, and maybe she's got some other savory stuff in here too, just to give ideas of what's super fast. So it kind of depends on your topic. I would experiment with that and see what works. You're also going to ask me images or no images. There's no technical reason to not include images. It's just more of a something to experiment with and see what kind of results you get. Images or no images. Usually, however, and again, I'm talking to my foodies for just a second, because I know I've got several. I'm usually with a food quick start guide, I'm starting with the images. I may remove them at different emails down the road, but remember, they're a transaction. They don't know you. They don't need all the, some of the tricks and things that we do later on. This is part of the branding, right? Looking at how beautiful this is, even if I don't click on this, I may open the next one because, oh yeah, she has delicious looking stuff. So at least in the quick start guide, typically I am putting images. All right, Bridget, let's go.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. So when I was talking, did you have any ideas at all about what might work for you for 365 Cincinnati?
Well, I have a mix of people who have lived here for a long time, mostly, I believe. I don't know that for sure. And so I don't know if that is something that, I could obviously do a get to know Cincinnati type course if that would be great for people who don't live here, tourists, or people who are not native to the town. But I'm kind of at a loss as far as what would appeal to the people who have been here for a really long time.
Let's go through the exercise. And this is what I'm going to have everybody go through, is this right here. Okay, so it sounds like your website is your biggest channel. Are you getting traffic through Google, or how's traffic coming to you?
I was, probably like everybody else on this call, I was getting lots of traffic through Google. I've lost about 70% of my traffic over the last couple of months.
But you're still getting traffic of some sort.
Oh, yes. And I
Where's
have a very large Facebook page as well that drives some traffic, but not as much as I'd like. But
okay,
my focus is my email newsletter.
Well, let's narrow it down. How are you so non-email subscribers, how do people find you? Is it Google?
Yes, mostly.
Okay, so what are they Googling that is still ranking, that's bringing you traffic?
It's very much seasonal and holiday based. I used to rank very well for things to do this weekend, but I've dropped off the page. I've dropped down so low.
Seasonality matters a lot for most of us, and probably does for you too. Right now, though, like if I said, look back in the last 30 to 60 days, and I just want you to guess right now, what are people Googling to find you when you go to Google Analytics?
Well, I just looked at it, so we're good. Weekend things to do, party places, like places you can go to have a bridal shower or something along those lines. Summer camp, indoor play places is big when it's raining, things of that sort.
Okay.
But it's if there is a holiday coming up or when the seasons change, it's much more like here pretty soon, it'll be pool places, spray grounds,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
And I assume, so it's, I'm being dumb here, but summer camps in Cincinnati.
Correct, correct.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Let's
Weekend
go.
things to do in Cincinnati.
Okay. So let's go through that. Let's say that weekend things to do in Cincinnati, because I imagine that's probably a search term that is a little evergreen for you, where the
Yes.
top, where the answers might change, but the search might be a little bit more evergreen. Okay, so what is the motivation of somebody who Googles weekend things to do in Cincinnati? Why did they Google that?
They have some free time on their hands and they don't know what to do with it.
Where do they live?
Local.
You sure?
I'm not totally.
Is there any other, follow-on search terms that would that would inform us of that?
Not that I have seen but I don't run SEMrush or anything anymore. I'm going off my search console.
Okay, so if you were to guess, though, you're guessing locals.
I am.
Okay, all right. So, what do they want? A local who Googled weekend things to do in Cincinnati. Tell me about this person.
If I go by my data on my social channels, I'm at a 35-year-old-ish person. My kid content does not do terribly great for this kind of stuff. We have a big food and beer scene. I get a lot of traffic on that post, but I can see my outbound clicks. And it's very varied.
Okay, and it's going to be. We have to make some guesses at this point. And so let's just guess on the motivation here, just for the sake of this discussion. And by the way, I'm very much a go fast, break stuff kind of guy. So I'm going to suggest some things that are probably wrong, but you're going to fill in the blanks. And my request to you will be to suspend disbelief for a little bit, try some stuff, and then we will revise. We will fix it. This may not be the best quick start guide you ever make. It may just be the first. The point is to learn the technique and the technology that makes this possible. Because as you're already seeing, the opportunities are probably around summer camp or summer activities, or kids versus adults, or it's locals versus new to Cincinnati. It's move-ins versus been here a long time. It's Christmas versus non-Christmas. There's all sorts of different things. And before we get too far on this, everybody, the more of these quick start guides you make, the more assets you have. You turn them on, you turn them off. You put some on a category, your Instant Pot category, and that one will perform better than everywhere else because those people have a specific need, just like me with Disney Cruise. But today we're just going to pick one. So let's go through this real quick. I'm sure you have some suggestions on what to do this weekend in Cincinnati. And for the sake of time, don't tell me all of them, but give me just a couple.
There will be tours. I have a list of performing arts. Like I have a big long list that I put out that I work on Mondays that will be specific events happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, and those events are broken into tours and concerts?
So I have a list of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I do a list below that of all the live music, all the performing arts shows, things of that sort.
Okay.
A lot of my advertisers are in those categories. So
okay, so hi, Matt. Welcome to day one of what to do this weekend in Cincinnati. You come to the right place because this is what we do. We scour the best of Cincinnati. Let's start here. You may be looking for some attractions or some hidden gems around Cincinnati that you've never considered. Here are my 5 favorite hidden gems. And it could be anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a speakeasy, a park, or whatever. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 2 of what to do this weekend in Cincinnati. So are you into music? Well, we've got a great concert scene here in Cincinnati. A lot of people don't think about that. And I've got my guide to what's playing in Cincinnati. Click here. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 3 of what to do this weekend in Cincinnati. Well, how about we try some delicious foods? I've got my dining guide and my, blah, blah, blah. Click here. You have something like that?
I have the content. I do not have what you're saying. I do not have that course built out.
Well, that's what we're building.
Yes.
So if you can write what I just spit out to you, but put it into your words with that content. So what I would suggest you do is just break it up. What are the 5 things? Food, music, things to see, museums. I don't know, whatever you just, things to do with kids. I gave you 5 right there. You could do my personal favorites, my hidden gems. You know, you can do wherever you go with that. All you have to do is then just create that quick email that I just described.
Awesome.
Piece of cake.
What would you say though on that? What would be the hook, like on my subscriber box, you know, because those
Yeah,
are
good
all
question.
kind of very varied things.
But they are specifically looking they're Googling what to do this weekend in Cincinnati. They're landing on
Okay.
whatever page or pages. And I'm guessing that a lot of other people that are coming to Cincinnati are also interested in the hidden gems of what to do this weekend. We could do, you know, 5 incredible things to do this weekend in Cincinnati, or my perfect Cincinnati weekend guide, or
Okay.
my, you know, you see where I'm going with that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Dave,
Hello.
you are a fashionable man, I understand.
Well, I try to be.
All right. What is your website?
It's called Irreverent Gent.
I like it. Okay. So after we've been talking, and I went through this with Bridget a little bit, let's go through it with you. Are you, you know, tell me where you're stuck or ideas that you had as we were talking.
Yeah, so my most popular post right now, so similar to Bridget, I've lost about 60-70% of my traffic over the last 5 months because of the Google updates. But oh, Bridget says she's been on my website. That's cool. So I've lost a lot of traffic, and currently my most popular post is one that's about cologne. I have a list of the best cheap men's colognes.
Okay.
But as you're talking, I'm realizing I only have 2 other posts that are sort of related to cologne. One is the best way to wear or apply cologne, and another one is the best cologne for men to attract women, basically. So we've got best cheap colognes, best colognes that women like, and then the best way to wear cologne. But I don't have, so, you know, I could do a 3 email series, I guess, on that particular topic.
Okay.
But I don't have any other content specific to that topic. So that's one issue. And then the second issue that I'm sort of facing is that, you know, cologne is a pretty small part of what I do. I write about clothes and various grooming things. I don't write that often about cologne. And my other most popular posts, like the next one, for instance, is after the best cheap colognes is the best Japanese clothing brands. I have lots of posts about sort of the best brands for particular types of clothes. But I certainly don't have any other content about Japanese brands, for instance. It's really just that one. So that one is a good example of a post where I would struggle to come up with what I could offer people there.
Gotcha. I'm really glad that you brought this up because you are hitting on something that I think everybody struggles with. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this motivation part. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was working with, by the way, I work with lifestyle and travel and finance and crafts and all sorts of examples. But I'm going to give you a food example. So I was working with somebody who ranks very high for pie. And so what we did is we ended up creating this quick start guide of how to make the perfect pie because she had all this pie content that she ranked for. And it was just not converting. We weren't getting the signups. It was basically crickets. And it was like, I don't understand why this is not working. And then I just kind of took a step back and thought about the motivation a little bit more. Why does anybody bake pie? How often do they bake pie? Well, it's for a particular holiday or special occasion. It's probably once, maybe twice a year. Do I really need the 5 secrets to baking the perfect pie? In that moment, I just needed to bake some pie. But what do I know about the pie baker? Well, he, or typically she, is willing to bake, is willing to try, because they could go to Costco and buy a pie. They could certainly do that. And so they're interested in doing that, impressive desserts, baked goods, whatever. So we switched the opt-in to be more about baking and baking projects, and it took off. I think we have one of those situations for you, Dave. I would probably not create a quick start guide all about cologne, knowing that I have a lot of people that are coming to Cologne, not Germany, but they're coming for your cologne. They are, let's talk about a guy that is, why is he buying cologne and trying to save money at it? What's his motivation?
Yeah, so obviously interested in smelling better, not a high budget, so probably not a super high annual income.
Yeah.
And probably if he's interested in smelling better, then he's interested in self-presentation, generally speaking. So he wants to look better as well.
Right. So the reasons that he wants to look better could be for a job, a mate, just self-esteem issues, you know, or is young and is trying to figure all this out. Right. So that's where we often think about the, you know, the existing traffic is coming in and get real super literal about it. But you have all this other content that maybe you ranked for or you don't rank for. That's actually irrelevant at this point. If I've got them for cologne, maybe I've got them for style as well. Or, you know, 5 secrets to, you know, looking your best on a budget. That's probably terrible. That's probably awful. But it might be a starting place. You know, it could be, maybe it's more about how to look great for women. Maybe it's more about spring fashion. It's about, you know, maybe you're bringing in the trends, how to look and feel your best this spring. Am I hitting anywhere close?
Yeah, no, I mean, it all makes sense. It's interesting to hear you say that, because at first I was thinking sort of very, I guess, sort of sub niche specific. So if they land on the cologne post, I should serve them up more cologne stuff.
Right.
But I think this makes a lot of sense, because obviously there's so much crossover. Like the guy who's interested in cologne is almost always interested in, you know, buying clothes that help him look good, and you know, getting the right hairstyle and everything sort of related to self-presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can make some of those assumptions about your audience. And I think that's true also for the Japan brands. It may not be as tightly connected, but I still would probably not go down Japan brands specific, unless that was super, you know, unless you were really deep there and you were getting so much traffic on that and it was a deeper topic, then maybe I would do that. But in this particular case, I don't feel like that's a category like Disney Cruise. I feel like that's a one-off. I'm kind of curious. And so therefore I'm still probably serving up your style guides or your, you know, your seasonal how to get a girl or whatever it is.
So then in that case, would you recommend having, like, hearing you say this, I kind of have 2 thoughts. One is to create a fairly sort of general quick start guide that could apply to most readers. So that would basically be the, you know, how to look better in 5 steps or something like that, and serve up 5 emails that are all related to self-presentation in some way, but not necessarily about cologne or about shirts or about one particular subtopic. And then my second thought is for the subtopics where I do have kind of a deep bench of content. So, you know, for instance, if I did have, say, 10 cologne posts instead of just 3, maybe that would be one where I do make it cologne specific if I've got that content sitting there anyway.
100%. Start with, like right now, I don't see that you have a lot of opt-ins going on, right? You know, to get on the list.
Yeah, no, very few. Yeah.
So anything that you have that you put out there, that's, even if it's a swing and, you know, it's only a bunt single, is going to still probably be better than what you currently have. So
right.
you know, the general evergreen, how to look your best, 5 secrets to, you know, 5 grooming secrets every man needs to know, 5, you know, whatever it may be. By the way, everybody, a little hint, if you're stuck, you do not have to use this cliche, but maybe use it as a thought starter. 5 secrets to blank. Now, I'm not asking Dave to go in the email, reveal the secrets of what happened at Roswell or any of that sort of stuff. It's, you know, secret number 1, find the perfect cologne. Here are my 3 favorite resources for finding the perfect cologne for you. Secret number 2 is a capsule wardrobe. There are certain essentials every man should have in his wardrobe. Here are my 3 articles about building your own capsule wardrobe, right? And so it's not a secret that's unknown. It's just a reminder. And again, you can get rid of that whole secrets trope if you don't like that. But it just makes you think a little bit. And it's a power word. You know, it's used in advertising quite a bit for a reason. We're trying to hook people. And so same deal here. Dave, I hope you found something that you can just start and run with. Pick a theme. You have a lot that you could do. look good, live well, 5 secrets to looking your best. Or, 5 secrets every man should know to look awesome. You're going to come up with something better than that. But don't think about it too long. Come up with something and then pick, a few of those articles that can fit. We can revise later. We can fix it later.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm going to stick around for anybody who wants more ideas. I got time. I'll stick around with you. Thanks for being here. If you've got to let's wrap up with this. Your homework assignment is select 3 to 5 of your top articles or posts or themes or whatever, and then create a catchy title like we talked about here, and lump them together and create a quick start guide. Put these in a Google Doc. I highly recommend that you write them in a way that I did before, which is welcome to day 1 of blank, a quick introduction, very brief, a subheader, and then just write out what articles are you going to, what posts are you going to send them to. On Tuesday, that's tomorrow, I will go through as many of y'all's as you want, and I'll give you my 2 cents on your writing. It actually has turned out to be, I was kind of surprised by it. I thought it would be very boring to people. It's actually turned out to be people's favorite session, because we get into some nitty gritty about writing some emails, and there's some marketing science that goes on, and it's kind of fun. So if you want me to do free work for you, write your quick start guides today, or in your case, Lavina, tomorrow, and then post them, and I will review them live here if you want. Lavina asked, should you create a quick start guide using the top content you have? What if it's a different category of food, as in my top recipes are all very different from each other? How do I group them together into one broad topic? Lavina, let's talk it through. Give me the examples you're talking about.
So the top recipe I have is a Greek yogurt pizza dough. And then after that, it's a kebab shop garlic sauce.
Okay.
And then after that, Indian pan-fried salmon. Those are the top 3. And then I think it's a cream sauce seafood pasta, and then an almond meal banana cake.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it is. And so that's the thing. My blog, that's even the other part of it. My blog is called thatspicychick.com. So initially when I started it, it was focusing on spicy recipes from global cuisines. I sort of strayed out of my niche. So, I mean, I've got a bit of everything on here. So just trying to figure out how to narrow it down.
Yeah, good questions. So let's think about this. Somebody that is, of course, you had to be that challenge here. I like a good challenge, though.
Oh, one more thing. So recently, due to personal health issues, I started focusing on high protein recipes all throughout last year. So that's where I'm at right now.
High protein recipes. Okay. But that's not what you're getting traffic for.
It's starting to grow because I just put it out last year, but some of it is getting traction. In particular, the Ninja Creamy protein ice creams.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that. It could be a place to start. Because if you are focused on it, you're committed to creating more recipes and content for that, and you're ranking for that. Like Ninja Creamy is this thing where it's really taken off, right? So especially the ice cream high protein thing. I just happen to know about that. I've seen that a lot. So you might rank really well. You might rank for that faster. You might actually convert those people quicker. So you could, by the way, you can show different things on different categories. So if you have it categorized for your Ninja Creamy, you could show the Ninja Creamy, 5 secrets to unlocking your Ninja Creamy, or five days of delicious Ninja Creamy recipes.
But that's actually one of the things I don't want to do, is just focus on Ninja Creamy, because it's only a couple of recipes, and it's not what the main aspect of the blog is, because that's spicy chick, and then all of a sudden you have ice cream as your main,
Sure. But does somebody who searches for Ninja Creamy ice cream, do they cook or bake anything else that you happen to serve?
I'm assuming high protein recipes, but that's the thing, because my traffic is not a lot, it's primarily those first 5 recipes that are getting all the traffic. So
Okay,
It's
but let's
very-
talk about that for a second. Let's talk about the Ninja Creamy, because I want to, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other, but I want to just illustrate what we can do with this. All we're
Okay.
doing is getting them onto the list. What you do with them after that is totally different. So, and the
Mhm.
fact that your content doesn't rank doesn't even matter at that point. Once they're on your list, you can send them to whatever recipe you want. So the Google stuff and the Pinterest stuff matters not even a whit. So what we could do is, I'm not saying you should, but if it would convert well, we could create a Ninja Creamy guide and then serve them after they're on the list. You give them, it doesn't even have to be 5 days. It could be 1 day. You know, my favorite Ninja Creamy recipes, one, you know, 3 or whatever it is. And then they get this email and it has a list of your favorite recipes. Now they're on the list. You could then send them in the future high protein emails. You could even say in the Ninja Creamy sequence, you could say, "Hi, Matt, welcome to 5 days of Ninja Creamy awesomeness. Blah, blah, blah. Here's these recipes. Or the next 5 days, I'm going to share with you what's hot in the new trend for increasing our protein." And then down below, you can say, "I love high protein recipes. In fact, my whole blog has 5,000 other high protein recipes on it." And so you could be building that messaging. You kind of steer them there, right? Because we anticipate that because they're doing the Ninja Creamy high protein ice cream, they probably want other protein recipes as well. Now, is that perfect? No. Will some of them it not appeal to them? No. But if we don't do that, we have no shot at converting them to our other high protein content. So there's all sorts of things we can do with creating a journey with the audience. Now, I'm not, again, I'm not trying to convince you to do that, but that's the power of leaning into where the traffic is. Because if I can serve the Disney cruiser in that moment, even if I don't have a lot of Disney cruise content, I can maybe get that person to see all my other Disney stuff, because I know, or I believe, that if they're going on Disney cruise, they like other Disney things. If they're getting a Ninja Creamy high protein ice cream, they probably like other high protein related recipes. I have come to discover that in food, people eat a lot, and a lot of different types of foods. There are gluttons out there. Some people eat 3 times a day. Have you heard of this? This is nuts. So anyway, let's go back to your main problem, which is what to do. I think if I were, because another thing that you can do is there anything that we can assume about these top recipes? I'm just trying to think this through. It's a Greek yogurt pizza dough. Why does somebody Google Greek yogurt pizza dough?
So the top queries was the third last interesting one was healthy pizza, and then
Pizza?
just
Okay.
that's the only one that gave us any clue. But it's just a popular concept that was going on. I didn't even know when I created it, but every big blogger has done it. Somehow I ranked for that, and I did not do any keyword research because I didn't know about that back then. So yeah,
But why? But why are they Googling that?
high protein, I guess. I
Okay.
mean, pizza dough is higher in protein than regular pizza.
Now, we don't know if this is true for across the board, but salmon is a protein. Seafood pasta is a protein mix. I'm not saying that this is the perfect place to start. I'm not even sure I would do it, but we could do 5 days of healthy-ish, high protein dinners, or my fastest high protein dinners.
Okay.
Do you have fast high protein dinners?
Pretty much all the recipes I've been putting out.
Perfect. So I guess, Lavina, the other question I have for you is, what are you doing right now to get subscribers?
I just have the RSS feed, like that newsletter little subscription.
Okay, so we lose nothing. If this doesn't work, we lose absolutely nothing. So 5 days or how about my fastest high protein dinners in a flash, whatever, we'll come up with the title. And then it's day 1 is chicken. Day 2 is seafood. Day 3 is pork. I don't know, whatever you've got. We can come up with can you come up with roundup styles for 5 days?
What I'm just trying to think is like, so what I'm doing right now is like high protein, like all of these recipes. So there's Asian fried rice, there's different pastas and stuff like that. Could that be bunched into like just the high protein dinners and then just send them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 each email?
You mean like make a meal plan?
Not a meal plan, but sort of like a menu they can choose from these 5 recipes. Like if you see what, I don't know, like maybe something you would receive like from the New York Times, they have like
Oh,
5
yeah.
recipes every
I love it.
different newsletter. So then is that what the, like, how would I put this into a quick start guide format?
We
or
just
would
need
this
themes. So the theme, the starter theme is for this hook, or for the whole thing is 5 days of whatever, right? So it's 5 days of fast, high protein dinners. Now we need we need 5 daily themes.
Okay, so what I was thinking is 5 high protein meals rather than dinners. So then the
Okay.
first day dinners, the
Yep.
second day desserts, the third day breakfast,
Yep.
which I don't have, and
Snacks
So-
or what, you know, or appetizers and then
Yeah.
here's a sneaky one. If you're ever stuck, just do my most popular blank because it can be you're regurgitating basically the same concept,
Yeah.
but with that theme, you can pull in whatever you want.
okay.
You've got it. That's it. That'll, I think go with that.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is anybody else stuck? Anisha, yes. Oh, I missed your
Can you hear
comment.
me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I have a lot of Instant Pot recipes, a lot of Indian recipes, a lot of global recipes. I started originally as well spiced global foods, popular global foods. But somehow, somewhere along the way, the Indian got heavy
Mhm.
because I think, I don't know, after COVID, maybe I started making more to kind of increase Google traffic, and it kind of fed into each other. My point is right now, if I do the email series, will I be like, I'm really trying to brand niche down or whatever, just to find another direction or whatever, hone down a direction I'm going in. Whatever email series I do, I feel if I do Instant Pot, then again, I'm getting stuck with just Instant Pot recipes. I have much more than Instant Pot recipes. If I do Indian, then I get stuck with just Indian. I have a whole lot of content other than Indian. So what do I do that keeps me open to, I don't know if that's a good idea in today's Google SEO world, but
Here, let's
I'm
go through this. Let's just go through this for a second. You have Instant Pot content,
a lot.
a lot. You get traffic on Instant Pot content.
Yes.
Okay. So you know that you could serve for a long time. If you did nothing else, you could serve people with your Instant Pot content.
Right.
So if you wanted,
But my trouble with that, sorry to interrupt you, but my trouble with that is that people, the last few years, the Instant Pot was the golden gadget.
Okay.
People are done with it. It's no longer the golden gadget.
okay, then let's not use Instant Pot. Let's do the exact same questions for Indian food. You have a lot of Indian food recipes, yes?
Yes.
And you have a lot of traffic on Indian food recipes.
Yes.
If you did nothing else in life, you could continue to serve up great Indian food recipes to people who want them. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. The fact that you can do that does not tie you down to not share other things. But what if we created an automation, which I'll go through on Wednesday, that allowed you to set it and forget it, where you keep sending Indian food recipes to people who want it. The reason to do that is it's relevant to them. They want it. They've proven they want it. They click on it, you get paid.
Okay.
So that now you're serving them. They're getting that. They're going, oh, Anisha, she's got great Indian food recipes. Then you go, guess what? I just released a whole line of Thai food recipes. If you'd like to try it, check it out over here. Oh, I've loved Anisha's Indian food recipes for so long. I got to try her Thai food stuff.
I see.
You go from, because right now somebody Googles your Indian food recipe, they do not care about you. You have no shot to help them in the future. They're going to consume that content, make that recipe, and not even remember your logo. And then they're going to be off and on their way. But if we can get them onto the list through Indian food, we can decide how long we want to serve them Indian food. Now, let me give you an example here. This is such a fantastic concept. Disney Cruise. as you can imagine, that's an expensive vacation. People
Yep.
are in that moment right now. They're thinking about it. But after they go on that cruise, then what? Well, I have a series of about 30 emails that they get, 30 weeks. It's called a Forever series that I'll talk about on Wednesday. That after they sign up for the Disney Cruise Quick Start Guide, they get added to this series. I don't know if I can help them beyond there, but I know that I've got a shot that for 30 weeks, I can serve up stuff that helps them. And then maybe I'll convert them to my other general Disney stuff after that. But they may be gone after that, but at least we had great 30 weeks together. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So in
Okay.
your case, pick one. Like maybe it's not Instant Pot because maybe that is dying. But if you are getting traffic to it, I wouldn't ignore it either. Because somebody, it might be generally dying, but other people, other people have invested in this device and they're still looking for recipe content. But it sounds like Indian food's probably an easy place to start for you. 5
Okay.
days of authentic Indian food recipes. Day one is the breads like the naan and that cracker thing that's so good, but I can't remember its name.
Upper.
Okay. The next one is the rice. The next one is the masalas and the, I don't know, right? Whatever you come up with.
Yep. Yep. Oh, you were saying like build it up, like versus saying 5 authentic restaurant quality meals ready in whatever, something like that.
I
don't know,
want
but
I
you're
want an
build it up.
excuse to send 5 days of recipes. So day one might just be
Okay.
the starters. Day 2 might be the salads. Day 3 might be the side dishes. Day 4 might be the main courses, and day 5 might be the desserts.
I see. Okay.
All right, great question. I'm so glad you asked that one. That was this. Sandy, stick around. I want to help you get unstuck if you want. I know I'm running way over time for everybody. So
That would
if you
be
got to get,
great.
I understand it.
No, I've got all the time.
Okay, all right, good. Christy says, does this quick start guide, should it be popped up on the main homepage or just on the pages related to the guide? For instance, if I did my own Ninja food, but I have lots of other content, do I have it? It depends, Christy, on what you have right now. If you've got nothing right now, put it site-wide. That's what I say. It's not perfect. It's not going to solve everybody's issue, but there might be some people that were like, oh, I'm kind of curious about that Ninja, because you've got nothing to lose, is what I'm getting at. But if you have something better than that, then show the thing that's better. Maybe that's too easy of an answer, but that's how I approach it. Usually, like if I'm working with a client, we'll make something general that we can drop in there quickly. A lot of times it might be evergreen, but sometimes it's seasonal too. It's like, oh my gosh, Easter's here, or it's Memorial Day, or whatever it's going to be. Get it out there quickly. But for now, Christy, don't worry about it. Just go write the quick start guide and we'll figure out where to put it tomorrow. And with that, if you got to get out of here, go away, have a day. If you do anything besides email today, you're doing it wrong. Sandy, stick around. Let's go through, confirm the homework. Yes, the homework is, I want you to create a theme, write 3 to 5 emails for that theme. Come up with a catchy hook. 5 secrets to blank. You can start there. We work on it tomorrow. And then put it in a Google Doc so that I can review it tomorrow with you. All right. Hey, if you want to see a good quick start guide, go to Culinary Hill, culinaryhill.com. I'll put this in here. I know that Megan does a great job with her quick start guides. Go sign up with whatever one she's got on the site currently today. All right, Sandy, what is your website?
Hi. Sorry, I'm just turning on my video because I'm in the kitchen, so there's always a lot of people going
No worries.
through. Is fearlessdining.com. I'm a gluten-free blogger. I have a lot of resources for people who are new, resources for baking, because that's like chemistry when it comes to gluten-free, and then a ton of recipes.
Okay. So it sounds like you already know what you want to do for a quick start guide. Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yeah, I have those 3 ideas right
Okay.
now.
And you're on Flowdesk?
I am, and I have almost 23,000 subscribers. I have a 53% open rate and a 7 or 8% click-through rate.
Cool.
And so I
Right.
I
So your
don't
concern is
I
how do I actually do this in Flowdesk?
or something that's a lot less than ConvertKit, because I think with ConvertKit, when I looked, I mean, it was going to be hundreds of dollars a month.
Right. Let's start with Flowdesk. You can do this in
Okay.
Flowdesk.
Okay.
The problem with one of the challenges with Flowdesk is you just can't do very many of them in Flowdesk.
Yeah.
But you can do one. You can definitely do a workflow. What they call I think they call it a workflow.
Yeah.
Is that what they
I
call it?
have yeah, I have two right now. I have one set up if somebody's new to gluten-free, and then I
Uh-huh.
have one set up if they just want recipes.
Okay.
The one with recipes is literally a quick, here you go. I
Yeah.
do use an ebook for the freebie, but I do have like in the when they get the emails, it's all stuff that's on my blog.
Perfect. Okay, great. So it sounds like are you leaning towards using something you already have, or are you leaning towards making something new?
I would probably make something new, make it better, because
Okay.
right now I set it up, I don't even know how long ago.
Yeah. So what is the topic that you think could work well for a new quick start guide?
Gluten-free baking secrets was what I was thinking.
I like that too. People who love to bake and are gluten-free, they have a very specific need. And the fact that you have very specific recipes for that. So you already have maybe an outline of what those 5 emails would be?
In my head. So I have
Yeah.
one which would be like an introduction to gluten-free flour, because every blend is different and performs differently in a recipe.
Okay.
Then I would go into probably maybe my 5 easiest gluten-free baking recipes, something that will help them, just get over the fear hurdle of trying to bake gluten-free.
Right.
And then maybe go into, I have a lot of troubleshooting guides, so maybe something about that, like have a fail, which we all do. And then go from there into maybe bread would be the final tackle, because that's challenging.
Okay. So a couple of thoughts that I have on that. Well, let me ask this. Do they have to have that flour in order to bake your stuff?
No, I usually test 2 to 3 flour blends, and if there are different moisture requirements, I'll tackle that in each individual recipe. And then I offer tips and how to use what they have.
Got it.
So that way they can kind of evaluate. I do a lot of pictures of like what the batter would look like, so that way they know if they have to adjust the moisture levels. It's kind of very niche.
Totally.
So
Well, so the fact that it's so niche, when people are Googling,
yeah.
what are they coming to? What are they landing on? Is it
The
some of
biscuit
these?
recipe, go down a little more. The biscuit recipe is a good one, because I did a test with over 10 different gluten-free flour blends, and that really helps people make no-fail gluten-free biscuits.
Sure. What
I've
else?
invested a lot of time in testing all these blends,
Uh-huh.
but every region of our country seems to have different blends. Countries have different blends. It gets complicated for people when they're trying to figure out how to make it work.
What else do you rank for?
My grandmother's chicken soup, the Costco guide, bread.
Okay, so it's these right here, basically.
Yeah, those are like my top.
Okay, so here's my suggestion, just from doing this for a very long time with food. What you just described to me is what sets you apart and makes you different, but they don't care yet.
Okay.
They don't care about the flour yet, or the fact that
Okay.
you've tested 800 different blends on each recipe.
Right.
They are Googling, they're in a moment that my daughter is gluten-free and she likes to bake. She's not looking for the flour guide. She's like, I want to make some biscuits. So she Googles it. And then it brings up whoever she gets. Okay. In your case, in that moment, I believe that your opportunity is in that second email that you were considering, the
Okay.
easiest recipes. Because somebody who's into gluten-free, we know they're avoiding gluten for a reason, which means that every other recipe out there doesn't really work for them. Doesn't matter how or why, they just know that. And then second, they're interested in baking. They're willing to put in the work. Why don't they do more of it? Well, they don't have time. They don't have the recipes. They don't have the inspiration, whatever. And when you say, you can do this, and here are the best, most delicious things to bake this summer that are gluten-free. Day one is let's use strawberry stuff. Day two is let's bake some bread. Day three, how about a cobbler? Right? Whatever. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
You're inspiring them with what their problem is. So I guess what I'm saying is, this is a long-winded way of saying, if you go with the flour, it will probably be super helpful to a small number of people who will read it.
Mhm.
Most people won't. So I would bring
Okay,
that
that
in
make-
later, but I'm just, my quick start guide might just be about giving them pure inspiration of recipes. You can do
Okay.
it, and here's what I'd make if I were you. Here's what I'm making. And the reason I'm making it is because it's yummy, or it's easy, or whatever.
No, that makes so much sense. That's like a different mindset. So yeah, I will be redoing my whole guide.
Yeah. Okay. I hope that helps. Anyway,
It did. Thank
it's just
you.
a pivot. It's like pivot. Think magazine. Think magazine. That's actually, I've never said that before, but I think that's in your particular case. The magazines can't solve all that, but they're putting out, on the newsstand, the way we used to do it, newsstand, that headline had to work real hard. And so it would be a quick grab. And that's what you're doing with your pop-up or with your guide.
Okay.
All right. Good luck. Whatever you do, don't blow it. Everything's riding on this. So no pressure. Anisha, a very clear understanding of most popular recipes. Now I lost ranking. So no, I don't think so. Asked, do I still consider my most popular content? Look at your last 30, last 60 days, whatever the reality is. It's because like I said at the very beginning, and in the traditional North American seasons, right? Stuff changes. We go from, if we're talking about food again, but it's true all across the board. We go from New Year's, where everybody's trying to eat healthy and eat well, and then February we're worried about the Super Bowl or Valentine's Day or game day, something or other. And then in March it's Easter, and then April it's like, oh my gosh, strawberries are in season, and then and Mother's Day, and then Memorial Day, and then 4th of July, and summer, and right, it changes all the time. So in your particular case, it's sad that things have changed, but let's look at the current reality of what are people, because this person in this moment, like in the case of what Sandy's dealing with here, is she's got all this other stuff. But the reality is that people are Googling this, and that's how they're getting there. So that's who we can talk to right now to get them onto the list. And that is our solution in part for some of this Google stuff, is maybe we're going where the traffic is, we're leaning into it and embracing those people in that moment. Martha is there for a split second. Can we turn Martha into a fan? Maybe. But we have no shot if she doesn't sign up for something. And if we try what used to be, that may not be the best thing. I feel like I'm just long-winded today. Sorry if I'm rambling, but I hope that's kind of how I see things right now. Once we make them fans for that theme, should we make sure that we add more content to that theme for the future? Well, Christy, that's such a fantastic question. If it's working, it might be a strategic thing to do, right? I've seen that happen quite a bit, where people kind of modified their content calendar a little bit because they saw what their audience was reacting to, both on the, to get them on the list, and then what they were reacting to on the stuff they were actually sending them.
Yeah, my challenge is I have such a diverse group. I'm a barbecue pit master, so all my stuff is grilling. And Ninja Woodfire Grill, I get a ton of people for that, but I'm also a competitive pit master, and those people wouldn't dare cook on a Ninja Woodfire Grill. So I have this wide range of content that I create for different types of grills. I'm thinking of doing my theme toward the Ninja Woodfire Grill, and I have 15 recipes or so for that. But I hadn't planned on creating too many more, but I'm thinking if I do this theme, then I'm building this audience, and I'm going to need to nurture that, which is okay. If it's bringing me traffic, that's good.
I don't know anything about grilling. Okay. So if it's not a microwave burrito, I don't know much about food blogging, generally speaking. So, but I've worked with many, many of them. However, in your case, with this particular grill that you're talking about, what what's the characteristics of that person and that grill? Why that grill?
Sure.
What's
it's 'cause-
special about it?
It's because it's easy. It's plug and play. It's like every Ninja product. You don't have to be a pitmaster to use it, but the results are comparative to
Okay,
it.
so I haven't been to your website. I have no idea. You don't have to be a pit master to have great results. Do you have other recipes in general about grilling that are not necessarily related to Ninja or related to anything else, but that
Oh,
kind of fit that?
100.
Hundreds.
Hu-
So
that fit that not as, yeah, probably.
see, so you see the theme there? That person that just happens to be the good thing they're Googling right now. But what we know about that person is that they're willing to stand outside for a little short period of time and try to smoke something or cook something or impress somebody for Sunday dinner. I don't know, but that person is not me. I'm the microwave burrito guy. I'll do the dishes. But that other person, that's my cousin Tyler, who's willing to stand out there for a while because he likes it. Maybe he buys something from Meat Church just because he's a wannabe, but he doesn't really have time, right? But you've got hundreds of recipes that can serve him. And it isn't just about the Ninja in that case. Now it's, did you know you can do this? Did you know you can do that? What about this type of pizza dough? What about this type of steak? What about this type of skewer? I don't know, whatever you got.
Mhm.
The marinades, the sauces, the rubs.
I feel like the people who interact with me most though via my current emails are the Ninja owners. It's twofold. It's either the competitive pitmasters who want my secrets to winning on the circuit,
Okay.
or it's the Ninja owners who have this grill and they're like, okay, I don't know anything about grilling, but this thing made it look easy. I was actually on the Ninja infomercial for selling the grill.
Okay.
So that gives me a little bit of expertise on it. And so but they're the ones who respond to most of my emails and say that they want recipes on that. So I'm thinking of that being the first theme.
Yeah, perfect. You start
Because they-
there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you
Because they
see where it goes.
Yeah, because they are different than folks who have a pellet grill or folks who have a charcoal grill or gas
Right.
grill. Even though there's similarities, I think being specific to their niche might work, but I feel like I'm gonna have to create multiple email like guides because
Yes.
having one grill is so different than having a different,
But that's your opportunity.
okay.
That's not the work. Yes, it is the work, but that is also the opportunity. If you imagine you had a big list of people who had the Ninja, you had a big list of the pellet grill, you had a big list of the Traeger folks, you have a big list of the competitive grill master, you can sell them different things. We'll get into that on days 4 and 5 when we talk about the types of ways to make money with that. And it's not just, although it is not, should not be discounted, you'll be able to drive those people to posts that will be more relevant because I have no idea, but I'm guessing that Traeger RPMs are better than, just run-of-the-mill RPMs because there's different devices and things and advertisers associated with it. And then the competitive grill masters, that's gonna be a smaller group, but by golly, you're gonna sell them a $2,000 course down the road, right? Or you're just gonna say your affiliate program is gonna be where can you get a really big hamburger and have it in your office? I mean, that's that right there is something you can sell.
Awesome.
I
Okay,
love
thank
it. Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
Anybody else? Before we shut this down, Lavina really needs to get to sleep. I'm starting to worry about her. She's going to fall over.
I had an espresso Ninja creamy before.
Well done. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. We'll see you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.